Chainsaw Man. Now
That was
with
close.
50% less misgendering.
Oh god, that's a reference to a tweet. Oh,
Really had to call me out like that.
I did.
You didn't, motherfucker. Other motherfucker did.
Uh, but like, here's the thing. This was a weird chapter.
Yeah, it's a very weird chapter. It's giving. Fujimoto, my New Year's resolution is to put out chapters once a week. How will I accomplish this? By having half the chapter be just flow of consciousness fanfic dialogue.
Honestly, that's what it felt like.
I'm sure you were thriving with the it's idiots and religion that make the world worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Katana Man based.
But man,
I definitely didn't make a screenshot of that to use.
I'm sure, yeah. By the way, you said you'd maybe change your profile picture to the lick my boots War Devil.
Yeah.
Maybe just for like a week or something.
I mean, I'll be off Twitter for a little bit, so
make that your hiatus profile picture. Just slap it up there for the next 2 weeks.
Yep, why not?
Hell yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not bad, but this was weird, and it is I'd like some fucking action, because it seems like the last three chapters are just like, we run 2 feet in the hallway, we meet a random guy that talks for half the chapter, and then we run 5 more feet.
Yeah, it's giving End of Promised Neverland.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the dialogue is so weird. I mean, like, maybe I'm forgetting Katana Man, but I never got... Katana Man feels very out of character in this chapter.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of reminding me, because the reason I say fanfic is because, I've written before, and sometimes when you're writing a fanfic, you can just get into like stream of consciousness where you're not even really sitting down and thinking about the dialogue, you're just kind of like off the top of your head, like bam, 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 and this just feels like the conversation between Katana Man and the British dude came dangerously close to feeling like it wasn't 2 distinct characters talking, but just like Fujimoto mashing on a keyboard for half the chapter.
Oh yeah, it felt almost as if like one was like an external dialogue and the other was an internal dialogue, and he was trying to have something go on for this chapter so you keep this week-long streak,
Yeah, it's a little strange. I mean, it's not, I'm still not, again, it's not hitting like bad, but it is just like, I don't see, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't feel like we would have had like time wasting stuff like this in part 1, The
most time wasting, quote unquote, we had was like the build up to the theater date, and even then, like, most of that chapter was the theater date.
What's interesting about the theater date is that, like, despite that all being talking and not action, it felt meaningful. Whereas this kind of bickering between these two felt very, I don't know, it just felt very filler fluff to me.
Yeah, I mean, this will be like a 3-second scene in the anime too. Like, it's not going to be, anything overly important unless like something major comes out of this, in the next chapter.
Yeah. So here we'll go through it here, right? So randomly, Katana Man is a huge fan of Asa's poetry book, or like he's excited for it. He's a fan of Asa. Like, that's very weird. I mean, like, unless I'm forgetting some integral characterization from Katana Man, that seems like really out of nowhere.
Yeah, I guess that they thought since he's going to be more important to the story, let's make him more of a character, I guess, is the vibe I'm getting here. Yeah. So, like, make him interact with Asa for, a couple panels, and, like, hey, tease that Asa is writing poetry for some reason, which I feel like is, like, the edgy, emo teenager in the back of the room.
I know it's been a while, but that's totally Asa, because it was we actually saw a poem she wrote for Denji like earlier in this part. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was like how she felt about him when. So I mean,
like,
she is that bitch.
I just figured that was like a one-off thing.
No.
Like,
she got no. That's good though. See, that's fine. That's Asa. I love that.
Right.
To me, Asa is. I mean, that's just so her. And, like, the fact that she got a bunch of fame from fighting devils and thought, you know what the people really want? A poetry book from me right now. That's just peak autism from Asa. I also, including or continuing the autism with him talking about like, oh my god, her poem collection goes on sale next month. It cuts to Asa's face, unchanged, right? Like still that autism straight face, but blushing. I love that so much.
Yeah, that was a nice little like, oh, somebody actually cares,
Yeah, and then he starts being. I'll be honest, I'm getting sus vibes from Katana Man though, because he's like, oh my god, I'm a huge fan of this high schooler, and then he starts talking about like kids like you whose body hair is barely grown in. I'm like, what are you? I'm getting the pedo vibes, bro. The red flags are going off. I gotta be honest. I'm kidding, but still, it was weird. It was a weird 1-2 punch of like, why is this man? This man's talking some weird shit.
I mean, it's Japan, so
yeah. He's thinking about a high schooler's a high schooler's poetry and children's body hair in back to back.
Japan, just don't be weird. Like that's all I gotta say.
The back and forth of like him be like fuck them kids, also religion bad, but also he basically he comes this close to calling the fucking nail devil like the F slur basically.
Yeah.
Girly boy bitch ass.
Yeah, you can't say it. You can't say the F slur.
It feels like Katana Man's off his meds. He's just, it's so weird. I'll be honest, it kind of like killed the momentum and like the mood that we're supposed to have with him fucking ranting and raving for half the chapter.
It really did, and that's just another like weird thing with part 2. It's like there's no cohesive tone to it.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Like there's nothing inherently overly wrong with this chapter. It's just so fucking all over the place in what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like it's just there are some chapters where it starts to feel like he is just kind of throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and that kind of it breaks my immersion a little because this is one of the first times where I felt like this doesn't really feel like Katana Man saying this. It just feels like I don't know that he like Fujimoto was like, all right, time to have a bunch of dialogue for no reason. It could be any character, and they'd all be saying the same thing. I don't know. It doesn't feel specific to Katana Man.
It almost feels like this was meant to be like generic foot soldier dialogue, and it just ended up falling on the characters that were in place here.
Because this guy's like a Yakuza dude, who's and it was his fucking grandpa or dad or hold on, who did fucking Denji kill again?
Grandpa.
Yeah, and so like it just in part 1 I didn't get like the vibe that he was the type of character who would be like, oh my god, like, cause okay, like, you've seen Gravity Falls or no?
Yeah.
In Gravity Falls, there's like a thing with Dipper where like he's trying to be like a manly man, but then like there's like it's revealed like he's like super into this like girly pop band, and he's like embarrassed about it. Like I never got the vibe that Katana Man was like a character like that, where he was like, I'm a fucking Yakuza man, and he's like, but NSYNC's on tour next year. Just like it's so weird.
It was like me trying to hide the fact that I was a Swiftie,
Yeah, well, and that'd be fine if that was like established, but I didn't get that. Like, I guess I always looked at Katana Man as a pretty boring. Like, he was like the boring villain of part 1 for me. Like, he didn't. But I don't know. It's very weird.
Well, it comes back to the curse that we have here of like the hybrids kind of being these immortal beings, right? They have to go through these cycles of like being here for eternity, essentially, right? And with that comes the risk of like, I guess, never really moving past your past kind of vibe. Like, he's trying to. It's like, how do you do, fellow kids? Right? He's trying to merge with like the current generation here and have some common ground with them, but he fucking fails at every moment because like you said, like he just wanted to call like the British dude like the F slur here because he's like, oh, that's not PC. I can't say that word anymore. He's over here trying to like commune with a bunch of converse with a bunch of these like teenagers that are like chainsaw man church goers.
Well, that's what he's mad about that because he's like, oh, fucking chainsaw man, you worshiping it, that kid's an idiot, blah blah blah. But like I do say so, like getting past the fucking weird dialogue into like actual plot stuff. there is some interesting shit here, right? Because Asa's able to, or Asa slash Yoru is able to kind of turn him over to their side by being like, hey, we're by doing like one of those technical truths. She's lying by omission here, right? It's like well, we're going to fight Chainsaw Man, but she means like the actual Chainsaw Man and not Denji Chainsaw Man. So like, but Katana Man definitely means Denji Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
Because Denji is the one who killed his grandpa. So that's going to be really interesting because they're going to get there and they're going to be like, oh, we met this Chainsaw Man. And he's like, well, I met that fucking idiot kid. So
that one that's being continuously amputated.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty smart of Asa because they're going to have Katana Man's help, like, getting into the facility, like, getting where Denji is. But then once they get to Denji, then inevitably she'll have to take out Katana Man.
Yep. It's going to be interesting, too, right? Because we also have in the background the idiot that cheated on his wife.
Yeah, he fucking, like, he Batmaned out of nowhere. He's like, gone. And he's like, yes, him saying, I'm going to get someone that can kill all of you. Is it Kishibe time?
It might be Kishibe time, and I'll be happy if my boy comes back. But I'm also sad if my boy comes back, because I don't want him to kill any... Well, I don't give a fuck about the Benny brother or the other idiot, you know.
Just save Asa.
And just save Asa and save the British fuck.
Yeah, I like him too. But it'd be interesting because if Kishibe does come back, then he'd be on the side, like, because you'd think he'd want the best for Denji, but Kishibe is a very unpredictable guy. I could also see him being like, well, you know, Denji.
We have given you infinite chances, old man.
Yeah. Like, well, you mean would Kishibe be saying that to Denji? You mean? Or
all of them, honestly, because now the other two have broken their contract with public safety, right? And we also have to deal with, like, the Benny brother, the other idiot.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So he would also, if it was Kishibe, he'd be fighting on the side of keeping Denji imprisoned. But I could see him switching to that if it's the situation where it's like, listen, we needed to set it up where you lived, like, a normal life. If you were going to reject that, then there was no way this is ever going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting how much potentially got set up in a nothing burger of a chapter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a setup chapter, you know, it was just an all right chapter. I mean, I'm not ready. I don't want to go back and forth between, like, every time we get a bad chapter to be like, oh, it's over, you know, but I'm going to call it as I see it week by week, right? If that was
exactly.
Yeah. I will say the person who can kill them all could also be Quan.
Yeah, it could be Quan.
Yeah.
Or maybe SA Devil is like, or SA Tron is actually
SA Devil, let's go.
It lives in every Minecraft server ever.
Oh my god, SA Devil. Yeah, who's like the most recent? Dan Schneider. Here he comes.
Dan Schneider's. We've known Dan Schneider was a creep.
Well, it was actually more specifically that guy that did what? Oh, fuck, what's his name? The dude who was like, you know, Drake woke up on a couch with the guy doing stuff.
Diddy.
No, not. Oh, well, yeah, that's also. No. I'm thinking. Have you seen any of the Nickelodeon documentary shit?
Oh no, I have not.
It was like
not watched it.
Brian something. I don't know.
Brian Peck.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen, like, people talking about it on Twitter, but, like, I have no interest in watching how horrible Nick was.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
It was very blatant.
Yeah. Well, I'm very good at separating the art from the artist. Like I don't know. I feel like art becomes its own thing, you know, like, because like so many good things can be made through bad circumstances, you know, like you know, like think about like the terrible work conditions that like certain animation studios are under, but then the product they put out like brings so much happiness to people, you know. You gotta separate.
Look at JJK, like how many people are happy that series is getting animated and how much they're enjoying it. Like, we know goddamn good and well Mappa is a sweatshop. Like, it is literally the Shein of like animation studios, but you know, they make great anime.
Yeah, and I'm sure once it's done, the animators, despite being like, I ain't ever gonna work there again, are pretty proud of the product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
they definitely they definitely care more about their product than, say, the people who worked on Promised Neverland season 2. You know, where they refuse to have their name attached to the final episode.
That's so funny. I mean, I think that's probably an instance of the execs taking full creative control over. You know what I mean? Because I can't imagine the artists wanted to do that series dirty like that.
No, like it's. I feel like it was a lot of that, and also the fact that
the anime or the manga sucked.
not even that the manga sucked. If they would have at least animated the actual ending, and they would have actually animated what was supposed to be animated for season 2, I feel like they would have had more faith in having their name attached to it.
My hot take with the Promised Neverland season 2 anime is that by the time that, because when season 1 was coming out, that was like the hot series, but when season 2 was coming out, a lot of people had kind of realized like, oh, the manga sucks now. So I feel like they saw the hype die down so quick that they were like,
and they just wanted to end their contract.
We're not going to commit to animating this whole series because it sucks now.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens more often than we want to admit as well.
Oh yeah.
Because even here in the West, like when the original, I'm going to have my hot take here. Originally, when Sailor Moon was getting animated, and Deke was in control of it, and they made their weird choice changes for a lot of it. Like a lot of the hype here in the West died down for it, at least when the original was happening. And then when they reprinted it and they started like the remake anime, it picked back up, and that's why they're like, well, now we want to make a faithful adaptation to it, And that's why we have a good adaptation of Sailor Moon now, without the for-kidsification that Deke did. It was the same thing with like Cardcaptor Sakura and a lot of other series that came from like the late 90s and early 2000s as well. But it is an interesting concept here. I want you to look specifically near the end of this chapter. I had it bookmarked. I'm going to see if my fucking phone actually saved where I was reading it. Because I want to... Of course. You didn't say...
Is it the final page?
Is right near the end. So, in this hallway, we see... the panel where he's like turned to his wife here. You were right. I never should have joined the special division.
Yeah, I wonder. I was trying to figure out what he meant by that too. I'm guessing maybe he's just like, this shit sucks. Everyone's betraying everyone. There's no loyalty. Right. I assume he's just like, man, this place fucking sucks. It probably goes back to like what was said in part 1, right? Like you have to be truly crazy in order to join.
Exactly.
Like you're going to die, or your loved ones are going to die, or it's just not.
Or become like chainsaw devils.
Yeah. So that's what I assume.
I wonder if like when he joined Special Division, he also fell into infidelity as well.
Oh no, yeah, I could see it.
Because you're never home, you're never near your partner.
I like that idea because
the whole workplace wife kind of thing starts to happen.
I could totally believe that because the paneling here is actually really cool, like with his wife looking all creepy behind him. So I could totally, that's a good kind of headcanon that like that's probably the moment his life started falling apart.
Yeah.
But you gotta assume, I feel like a lot of people who join because their life already sucks, but maybe it was a situation where like he joined because they were like super poor or something, and then he was like one of those, and maybe it was like one of those like what could we possibly lose? We're already so poor, blah blah blah. But then he joins and he loses what he didn't think he would ever lose, which is his wife. You could headcanon a whole backstory for this guy, and maybe we'll get it. I mean, he's you never know with Fujimoto, but he's being portrayed to be kind of important.
Yeah, that's one thing that was really stuck out to me with this one is like I understand like the whole aspect of work kind of consuming you as well, because like there's times where like I sink my entire existence into either a job or a project or whatever I'm working on, and it kind of becomes your whole personality for a little bit. If you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You with the Hisoka video, that was your entire thing when we were living together, when you were making that video for a while.
It was like 2 months straight to make an 8-minute video, yeah.
Yeah, you would come home from your work, your job, you would sit down, you would work on that till like 4 in the fucking morning, and then crash at your laptop.
Love a good hyperfixation. It's good to feel like, to have a goal, to have drive. But, not if it's at a job that doesn't appreciate you, not if it's making it so you aren't hanging out with friends and family. There's this balance with everything.
Exactly.
I gotta say, unless you had more to say there,
it's like a toxic relationship with your job is what it feels like he's having here, and he's starting to realize like, hey, this wasn't, what it was cracked up to be, or it was exactly what the rumors say it was. Like, it's essentially like the devil version of working in an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah, he's and he's doing the thing that every minimum wage worker should do whenever faced with any adversity: get their manager.
Get their manager.
That's what I fucking did at Big Boy. If someone was being even a little angry, I'd be like, "Let me just get a manager for you," and that's what he's about to do. He's about to go get the manager, which is either going to be Kishibe or Kwan, I think.
Yeah.
But let's see here. So this end scene is interesting. It's really, I mean, God, they're such fucking nerds, because like Katana Man does this big like, the reason my heart still beats is to kill Chainsaw Man, and then Yoru, also a fucking dweeb, does the same thing. Like, yes, he just steals the line, says it word for word, and then Katana Man's like, I like you. I'd expect nothing less from Chainsaw Man's woman. So I guess like that's just spread around that like they're fucking. I mean, they're not actually, of course, but like you gotta assume that's like the rumor.
Yeah, it's like, excuse you, kind of thing.
That means that like one of the reasons that she became like the face of the Chainsaw Man Church is that like, oh my God, she's fucking Chainsaw Man. Because I mean, it was probably like, remember when he saved her from the falling devil? That was probably like televised, and like there's like footage of that. So I imagine this is like a Spider-Man Mary Jane thing. Like, why is Spider-Man kissing that girl so much? It's just like, oh, like there's like TMZ shit. Like Chainsaw Man is dating Asa.
Literally, if TMZ existed during the crucifixion, they would be right outside Jesus' tomb.
We're here outside the tomb where the prophecy, Jesus said he'd rise in 3 days, and we're here to find out if it really happens.
Jesus Christ, do you have a statement for the people?
He's like, I told you I would. Oh, what did I say? I told you. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? What did I tell you? Exactly what just happened.
TMZ deserves every bit of criticism.
God. But yeah,
but it's wild that like they tend to be like the one more reliable news source than even our
sometimes
own news.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that works. Yeah, what do you make of? It's so weird to me for Katana Man to be saying directly to Asa like, yes, you, Chainsaw Man's woman. He's gotta, I feel like he's gotta put some puzzle pieces together, because like she's like, we're here to fight Chainsaw Man, and he's like, really? I'm here to fight Chainsaw Man. But then he straight up says she's Chainsaw Man's woman, so why would he think that she's here to fight Chainsaw Man? It's because we know that she's here to separate him from the Chainsaw Devil. But is he just that stupid?
Is he acoustic? No, I genuinely think like he believes that they have this like rivalry as well.
You had a falling out. I see how it is. Yeah, he cheated on you, didn't he?
Or like a Kishibe / Kwam, where like they try to both outdo each other kind of thing.
I see. Okay, yeah. I mean, because he says, "Take me to that piece of crap chainsaw, and I'll let you live." Yeah. It'll be really interesting. I wonder if she can convince Katana Man. I'm thinking not, but I mean, I could see a scene playing out where she's like, "Listen, man. The reason your grandpa died wasn't because of Denji. It was because of the demon inside of him. So Denji's just an idiot high school boy. Let him go and just kill the chainsaw devil with me." You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then I get to bone Denji.
And then Yoru gets nukes back. What a great boon for the world. Remember, that's how this all started. I need to see the world get nukes back all at once.
It would be quite interesting to see if that actually plays out the way that everyone thinks it's going to.
If this manga goes in that direction, where like the world gets nukes back all at once and then just immediately enters a nuclear holocaust, and we're like, yay! At least we freed Denji.
Yay! And everyone's dead.
Asa and Denji having primal ball-slapping sex as the nukes are going off in the background. Worth it!
Yeah. At least I lost my virginity.
Don't matter had sex.
Doesn't matter had sex.
And we have like a Gun Devil-esque chapter where it's like just going around showing all the people like fucking Terminator 2 melting from the nukes. Like, oh!
And that's how Fire Punch started.
Yeah, oh my god! Oh my god! Fujimoto could do such an Okubo move right now. The Soul Eater to Fire Force train. Holy shit.
Yeah, that has been like a Reddit theory for a while.
That'd be great. I mean, I could totally see it. We get nukes back. The nukes go off. I mean, think about it. If they get nukes back and then the Nostradamus comes, or not Nostradamus, but Nostradamus' apocalypse prediction, it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, oh, thanks, idiots. You made the apocalypse way easier because nukes exist now.
Yep. It would be wild, but I could see Fujimoto pulling that off, you know?
I'd
like
love
it's been like a jokey Reddit rumor that like it's a shared universe for a while because it seems like, you know, we have similarities between them. I'm like, I don't know how much of a Kubo style thing we're going to get here out of Fujimoto, but it would be kind of cool.
It would be, yeah. Wow.
Imagine if like all of his works shared the same universe, like all of his one shots, all of his like.
You know, it would be fucking fire if it was confirmed that this was a prequel to Fire Punch. You remember that character in Fire Punch that's like obsessed with movies and like Logan Paul's the whole universe by like filming it all and like pretending it's a movie?
That was just S.H.Chan?
No, not S.H.Chan. That's like another rebirth of the Control Devil, like after Nayuta.
That could very well be the case.
Because what's more controlling than like making everyone like characters in your movie?
Yeah. No, that would make sense in a weird way.
I'll never get. We do need to read the rest of that. I'll never get over her sitting on the train as like child rape is happening, and then they.
I'm
like,
not going to stop you. I just want to film this.
Child rape is happening, and then they look over to the right, and then here's this woman filming him, and he's like about to attack her, and he's like, no, go on. This is gonna be a great scene in my movie. Jesus Christ!
It was one of the most depressing things I've ever read.
Fujimoto go hard, man. The type of manga that can only be made by a man who eats a goldfish.
And yeah, the Fujimoto lore is just insane. Like the personal lore of that man is insane.
I think he actually might be. See, like you read these stories and you think he's like joking, but then the more you read, you're like, this guy might actually be psychotic.
Yeah, no, 100% he has some sort of psychosis.
But it takes psychosis to make good art.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you have to be a little bit crazy to make something good in life.
Anything else to talk about?
We're going to be having a little break, like, content-wise. Like,
oh, yeah. Vex is... where are you going again?
I am working on a project that I can't really talk about, but I'll be out in the boondocks where I will have barely any service. Okay. So...
I might, if you're chill with it, just to keep the content going, like, for the weeks that you're gone, could I bring, like, Thurman in to talk about the new chapters?
Sure.
Cool.
If he's available, go ahead.
All right, sweet.
I'll be gone for, like, 2-ish weeks. I'll be back in April. And once I'm back, then we're going to try to bring Skits back as well.
Skits back, and I can tease something here. I've been talking to Rios, also known as the guy who drew us fucking Makima up there and then the backdrop.
Literally fucking Makima.
It's so good. I got him to start binging 100 Girlfriends, and when he catches up, we may or may not do a weekly series of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And obviously my videos with Lasher Luke on the other channel will still continue. We enjoy talking about it in bunches and updating our tier list and stuff. But I have a really good chemistry with Rios, so we wanted to. And he's like he calls himself like the ecchi hentai master. So like it'd be a perfect series for us to discuss. Just like how when we were discussing that stupid armpit fetish manga.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're expanding, baby, and then also me and Thurman are in talks to bring One Piece back. One Piece is on a 3-week break, so it's perfect time for it. Like we'll start right as the 3-week break ends.
Yeah, I mean that would be perfect. Like having a bunch of content again would be nice.
3 videos a week, baby.
I miss having like weekly content in that regard, so that would be really nice to have again. I do want us to pick something else up at some point as well. Like we've talked until we're blue in the face about finding something. It's
gotta happen naturally, We'll see. I mean, I'm slowly watching through Free Ren, so we'll see where that takes us.
I swear it deserves every bit of the hype and praise.
It's definitely good. I think the only thing that holds it back for me is that I'm just not super into that like
fantasy setting,
D&D aesthetic. You know what I mean? But I mean, I really do like what that series does. It takes such a unique spin on that kind of story, whereas like most stories would be the adventure itself, whereas this story is the aftermath of the adventure and like
exactly
remembering it through her, kind of recollecting her life. So I know it's very good. I mean, the characters are great. Is the manga still going?
It is.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so I'll try to catch up with Free Run. We could maybe talk about that if I like it.
Yeah, I also like pitched like Zom 100 and a couple other series as well. I don't know if that would be up your alley or anything like that.
Zom 100, does that have like a continuing building lore? Because it was giving very Adventure of the Week.
It's kind of like super Adventure of the Week.
Yeah.
I kind of pitch it as like a modern version of High School of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, Zom 100 gives like fun as an anime. Not so sure I would enjoy reading it vibes.
It was a fun read. I'm caught up with it. I'm caught up with Free Ren. I caught up with fucking Dandadan again. I read the last 2 chapters, and it goes insanely hard in this current arc.
Dandadan is something that I could see happening. The anime is coming out soon, and I really like the artistic direction. Like the trailer makes it look really, really cool. So I'm gonna watch that anime with Allie when it comes out. And a lot of times when I watch an anime, that's a good kind of like on-ramp for me to like read the manga again. So like that could potentially happen. Like after I watch the Dandadan anime, if I really like it, I could like continue on to the manga.
I will say it's batshit insane. Like it is ADHD the manga.
It was almost too insane. I wanted some sense of coherence. You know what I mean? That was my only concern.
There is an actual plot to it. It is not just like stupid alien / granny / what the fuck am I watching? But it is very much insane.
I'm really excited to see the anime, dude. Like, there's some crazy shit in that series.
Like, and then the annoying one for me is fucking the new Code Geass is locked in Disney Plus jail.
Yeah, you don't have Disney Plus?
I have Disney Plus. It's just annoying because like the way that they handle anime in general is zero fucking marketing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like Sandland, the Akira Toriyama manga, like it got an anime adaptation, and like even in the wake of his passing, not a single like. By the way, we are airing the final piece of media other than Dragon Ball Daima that this man worked on. Nothing. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then they'll wonder why it doesn't do good. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It looks like Netflix is learning their lesson on the batch release shit. I see they're doing weekly a lot more often now because they fucking ruined the hype cycle of JoJo Part 6.
Yeah, and they're picking up like a bunch of other stuff. I saw that they're actually going to have like Spy Family on there.
Netflix putting their pussy into anime now. I almost wonder if all the HBO Max like fuckery with animation has made like the other streaming studios be like, oh, we should pick up where this guy's slacking,
Yeah, but also like Warner is wanting to make like 10 anime or like help produce 10 anime a year, apparently, starting with the Suicide Squad Isekai. And I'm just over here like, one, who the fuck is asking for a Suicide Isekai?
That's so weird. Yeah.
But also, it looks like it's going to go hard. Like, I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, okay, this actually might slap. I fucking... As much as I am anti-Warner Brothers right now in general, I'm like, okay, you might have something here.
Here's something that I'm hopeful that I get to be the one to tell you about for the first time. Did you see the fucking huge, massive Code Geass box set on Crunchyroll.com, like their store?
The one with the chess set? Yeah.
Bro, you better be buying that.
Did you see the price tag, my friend?
But that's your series.
Did you see the price tag?
I'm guessing it was 500 something.
It is like $580.
And my statue was 800. Oh, big whoop.
I might not have a job in general for a while.
But I know you're fucking butthole puckering looking at that shit.
Yeah, my butthole was puckering. If somebody wants to, I'll add it to my throne wish list. If someone wants to be my sugar daddy.
If anyone buys that for them, and you better buy something for me. I'm sick of Vex getting all the free shit. randomly some Saudi prince is watching our fucking YouTube videos and using the oil money.
I don't care. Send me your blood money. I don't care. I'll take the free shit.
I need to look at what all is in that fucking Code Geass thing, because that shit was nuts. Like, I saw like
it was like the chess set. It was the actual like Blu-ray collector's edition. It was a bunch of other random stuff. I forget. I saw when it first came out.
Gorgeous. It looks like a jewelry box.
It does.
Where the fuck is that with every other series? Bro, it's insane. There's so much nonsense.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Is that like the actual chess set that Lelouch uses in the show?
Yes, it is. That's the actual chess set that he uses in the show. It comes with the fucking necklace. It comes with like basically a fucking whole ass jewelry case that I could use at this point.
Vex, you can use Zezel to pay monthly on it. $25 a month for like the rest of your life.
You know, it is quite tempting, honestly.
So how long would that take you to fucking pay that? Is it 25?
6 months? 7 months?
More than that. No. So the lowest, you can make your payment as low as $25 a month. Hold on a second. 550 divided by 25. Give me a sec. That's going to be like 2 years. Yeah, that'd be 22 months.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be fucking almost
going into debt for Code Geass.
Like a car payment. That's like a car payment, bro. I mean, is there interest? If there's no interest, there's actually no fucking. I'll be honest. That's kind of fine. Well, I don't know how Zizzle works. Let me see.
I don't either. I've used like shop pay for shit before.
What's APR mean?
It's your interest rate.
Okay, there is interest.
Yeah,
bro. If you ever, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. If you take out a loan with 10% interest, by the way, to fucking, that's what it is to buy.
That's an average credit card interest.
Yes, but to buy Code Geass.
Can you say there is anything that is less me than doing that though?
Oh my god, bro! If you fucking take the lowest payment, your interest is like. Oh, wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding that. That's not too bad. Okay, I thought that was per payment. I was like, all right, yeah.
It's on the full principal of the loan.
Oh, my God. Sample payments. That's disgusting, bro.
It is disgusting.
That's, like, so American. Like, let me take out
that is dystopian. It comes with Akito the Exiled, all 4 the Repath movies. It comes with both of the original seasons as well. So it's everything but the Rose series that is coming out onto Disney Plus.
Have you seen the C2 figure that's $260?
I have not.
Oh, you're gonna shit. Your butthole's gonna pucker again. And her butthole's puckering in the figure. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I have no other doubt.
Here, check this out. I'm so glad we're doing this on video. Yeah. If you need to know what we're talking about, just go to Crunchyroll and look at the fucking C2 figure that's $260. I'm so excited. That's going in the jar.
Yeah. Jar. Someone give me a jar.
God damn. You put that one on payment. That would only take you like half a year to pay off.
Is there anything more American than payment plans for fucking toys?
Vex, there's a better one. Vex, there's a better one. Vex, there's a better one.
Oh, God, I'm going back to Facebook. Jesus Christ.
It's so much better, Vex. That was a noise. That one's also $100 more. It's $320.
Of course it is. Fuck my ass.
C2's not even. Why are there so much slutty figures of C2? She's not like slutty in the show, is she?
She's overly slutty, but like she is.
She just like a da pizza. That's the only thing I remember about her. She eats a da pizza.
Well, I mean, how do you expect her to be thick if she doesn't eat pizza?
That's the biggest lie that anime ever tells. When these sexy, perfect figured women be eating whole boxes of pizza, it's like, you lie to me. No fucking shot.
There's like the fan service for like the official art for the series though is like where the slutty C2 came from.
Yeah, it's like whoever has the fucking rights to the Code Geass merch. I feel like half of the figures are lewd for Code Geass, and they love bunny girls.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing: they make just as much yaoi bait as they do yuri bait. So
Can you
it's
imagine
fail game.
working at like an office job, and you're like, I'm just gonna bring some decorations from home for my desk, and then you put that over like your computer.
That would be such a me thing to do too.
Oh man. Whenever I wonder what it's all for, I look up and I look directly into that ass, and I remember what I live for. You know,
it's the do it for her from The Simpsons, but it's just C2's ass.
Fucking Ned Flanders next to you has like a picture of his wife, and you're like, this is what I do it for.
This is what I do it for. I'm a degenerate. I'm proud.
Neuron is activated.
Yeah, monkey brain. You know, the fucking clapping monkey thing, and they're like.
You mean like the clapping cymbals?
Yeah.
That's gonna be me on her ass.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a great conversation this has turned into.
We somehow squeaked 40 minutes out of this, Red.
Yeah. And you don't gotta worry about lube because C2 is always pizza greased up. And with that, you know she is, bro.
Why? Why'd you have to end it with that?
I mean, dude, have you read about like I hate to bring it to this, but like, you know how like what you eat can determine how like your semen tastes.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing applies to women. Their pussy musk will change depending on their diet.
Yeah.
So if they be eating pizza, that's gonna be a meaty pussy.
You know what? A lot of things make sense.
When you snap into her pussy and it smells like a Slim Jim.
I'm gonna go puke now.
Nah, dude. A real man will eat it anyway. And with that, eat out your local woman with consent. And with that, peace.
Peace.